Okay, good afternoon. I am Steve Keefe. I'm the broker owner of Coldwell Skyridge Realty. We operate in the Southern California mountains. Today I have for you the January through May 2025 update for Big Bear City. So it's just a small section of the Big Bear market area, but focusing in on Big Bear City, it's one of those separate areas. And this report provides a year-over-year comparison of residential sales activity in Big Bear City, contrasting what happened in 2024 and the most 12-month cycle, and then year to date. So the center section there, center row is year to date. The Big Bear City market has remained relatively stable with only subtle shifts in key performance indicators. So just to give you a general sense of what's going on there, for the last 12 months, there were 237 homes sell in that particular market, slightly down from 255 for the calendar year 2024. Year to date 2025, we've had 82 homes sell versus 99 for the same period in 2024. So we're trailing behind just a little bit. That's pretty much overall throughout the mountain communities. We're seeing that trend. There are currently 206 active listings in that market sector, up from 142. So we're seeing increased competition for sellers, more properties on the market, and I'll talk about the effects of that in a little bit. Something we watch very closely is the red column in this particular graph, and you'll notice that in the last 12 months, there were 205 properties that were listed for sale that did not sell. So they were either canceled or they expired. They did not sell, and you can see that that's almost as many failed to sell as actually did sell. So those numbers are up from 179 to 205. It's just a strong reminder that not all listings succeed, not all listings sell. It's very important for sellers in this particular market to have a good understanding of what they need to do in order to position their property correctly. On average, we're currently selling 16.4 homes per month, down sharply from 21.3 per month in 2024. We've currently got 14.1 months of inventory, which is double what it was in 2024. So buyer demand has held steady, but the rising inventory and continued high rate of failed listings suggest a growing gap between pricing and buyer expectations. The common culprits remain overpricing properties, poor presentation, or in some cases, both. Buyers are active but increasingly discerning. Well-priced, well-presented homes are still drawing interest and offers. With 14.1 months of inventory, reminding you that 6 months of inventory is really a balanced market. Big Bear City has clearly shifted into a buyer's market. Sellers looking to stand out must lead with accurate pricing, polished presentation, and aggressive marketing. A bright spot in this whole thing is if you look at, we're closing around 16 transactions per month. You'll notice that there's currently 25 listings in escrow. So a good portion of those are going to sell. It's likely that those numbers will end up pushing up slightly from the 16.4. We'll kind of look at numbers in a slide or two here, which will kind of show you what the typical trend is. But we're expecting that we're off to a pretty good summer and fall season, and that's backed up by the fact that we are seeing quite a few under contract or properties that are currently in escrow. So this graph gives you a general idea of market time and days on market. And we're seeing that increase across the mountain in all market areas. Big Bear City is no different. This gives you the 108 days. These are all the sales that occurred in 2024. And you can see that the average ends up being 108. You've got some that are as much as 500 days. Most of them, a lot of them, over half of them are under that 100-day mark. But if you look at at a measurement of the average time on market for listings that sold, you're looking at 108 for 2024 and then 116 in 2025. Not a huge increase. Some areas we're seeing a much higher increase, 20% longer on market. In this particular case, it's just a slight difference, not much of a difference at all. Homes are taking longer to sell with increased options and little urgency. Buyers are content to wait. Sellers who respond promptly to these conditions are more likely to generate early interest. Those who don't risk prolonged market times, multiple reductions, and the inevitable buyer question, why has it been on the market for so long? What's wrong with it? If you look at the properties that sold, this is a graphic representation of 2024. You see sort of a slower start, still pretty good activity in general, but slower start in the January, February, March, starting to pick up some steam. April, May, fairly consistent throughout the summer and winter months. And so this is a fairly consistent trend that we see year in and year out. 2024 was no different. And if you look at so far year to date for 2025, we're off a few numbers on this, but again, you're starting to see still pretty good activity for the first half of the year. I mentioned that we have 25 currently pending, so you're going to see that hopefully carry through. As we see more inventory come on, hopefully we will see more transactions happen as well. Sales activity has remained relatively stable over the last 12 months with consistently higher sales in the second half of the year. These upticks typically align with the arrival of listings that are both well priced and well presented. A clear signal that today's buyers are still engaged but focused on value and quality. Sellers have to be making sure that they're maximizing both value and quality. To go over some of the pricing and value metrics, key year-to-date pricing data. So median price, this is dollar per foot. We typically don't give a lot of credence to dollar per foot, but in this particular case, you're looking at median dollar per foot in 2025 so far year to date at $362.22 versus $360.77. So just up a couple dollars, very slight appreciation. That is the best indicator for appreciation in the market rather than median price, because dollar per foot sort of reflects what's really going on as far as whether the homes are selling for more than they were the previous year. So slightly up on appreciation, but very flat. Median sales price 2025, $440,000 so far year to date. That up from $427,000. So $13,000 increase on median price over 2024. So again, slight appreciation. The highest sale in 2025 down to $1,045,000. In 2024, there was a sale in Big Bear City at $3.2 million. The lowest sale, 2025, was $239,000, and subsequently in 2024, that number was $164,000. So that gives you the overall market update for the Big Bear City area. We are seeing good activity. Big Bear City is affordable in comparison to some of the other market areas. That's why they're still seeing consistent activity. And so if you have further questions or any questions regarding any of the data presented or my interpretations of it, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My name is Steve Keefe. I am the broker owner of Coldwell Banker Skyridge Realty. 909-744-7690 is my cell number. Thank you. Have a good one.